Well, hello and welcome to Chrissie's Purple Library. Vlogging time. It's vlogging time. I don't know how this mic is going to turn out. I might have to just trash this whole audio. But if I end up... We're growing and we learn. We're growing and we learn. Let me move. And welcome to the start of the vlog. Oh, it's another day in the days in the life. Maybe weeks, child. I don't know how long this vlog is going to go. Editing Chrissy is going to know how long this vlog is going to go. Filming Chrissy, don't have a clue. Dig, what your girl been doing? What she been reading? Honey, she been reading all the things, huh? Maybe not. Maybe not. What have I been reading? Realized author by Philip Reeve. I ended up giving this book 2 stars. I know. I'm not surprised by it, actually, because when I skimmed through it a little bit a couple weeks ago, I was like, I don't know, this doesn't seem to be giving what I needed to give. I enjoyed the Arthurian retelling, the spin on it. It follows a girl who is an orphan, and Arthur raids her town that she's in, and she's taken in by Myrddin, who we know in the legend as Merlin, and she proceeds to be the spy, help Arthur, promote and propagate through malarkey and wise tales, child, because they out here just saying all the legends and stuff. I mean, real author in this book, honey, he's a scoundrel. The ending of it, I like the plot of it, and that was about it. Another thing that is present in this book but did not bother me is gender reversal, role reversal here. So this young girl, she obviously is a girl, and then she has to live as a boy for probably 3 years or so. So she goes back and forth between living as a boy and living as a female. That gender reversal really wasn't her fault because she had to survive. And there's another book that I read a while ago called Perfect Peace, definitely in the same vein as a Toni Morrison, Alice Walker type story, because the kids in this don't really have a choice about that. The adults around them are forcing them into these situations, and they don't even know what the truth is anyway. But that didn't take me out of the story. I really didn't like about this was the swearing the Lord's name in vain. And I'm not saying GD, yes, I would consider that a swear, but using Jesus's name as an actual curse is very prominent in this book, and I did not appreciate that. I believe that that's even more egregious. A lot of the author's positions and the character's positions on faith was very much giving mockery of the Christian faith rather than someone exploring their belief or lack of belief. Mockery of faith in general. I think it actually mocked the other representations of faith in this as well. So it just was mocking just beliefs, period. So I was like, ooh, what? I think this is actually more suited for a young adult, obviously adult. Probably not for young teens, maybe 17 and up, maybe, because there is a lot of implied sexual content and situations and language, and it's very grim, darky, and gory too for the audience that it's supposed to represent. So 2 stars. Go on and see if it's something that works for you, but for me, it just, yeah, nah. Encouragement for the Depressed by Charles Spurgeon. Oh my goodness, gave this 5 stars. I love Charles Spurgeon, love his sermons, and this is so powerful. I really needed to read it, dealing with some things, and so this was a great time for me to read this. I highly recommend this. And Charles Spurgeon, from my understanding, contended with depression his whole life, and so for him to sit down and to write such a poignant, personable, and biblically based about how to deal with depression and just acknowledging it and seeing it for what it is and accepting that at times is the posture of us, of those who, some of us who've been in the faith with the Lord, some of us who just got here, but it's something that we all contend with, and encouraging to read this. And I highly recommend this. To you a quote that it broke me down. Thank him for the experience that you have, and do not be desponding because you have not more. It will all come in due time. Amen, sir. Pastor preached, huh? Yes, he did. I have a DNF. If it fall, it fall. Brothers Hawthorne by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. It's book 4, and it follows the continuation of the Inheritance Games trilogy that I finished last year. It was such YA trash. I had such a wonderful delight with the original trilogy, but this is book 4, and you know, I can't. It's just insufferable. Where is the YA angst that I'm looking for? Things that I noticed too immediately is that it's told through the viewpoint of the brothers, obviously because of the brothers Hawthorne, and I don't know if I just don't like their voice in this or if it's the tone, but something is different. Something is shifted here in the story, and what I enjoyed about the original trilogy is not here for me. I think the original trilogy, I think I gave every book, I think I at least gave the first 2 books 3 stars and book 4 stars, I think, but it was solid. Like, I gave it 3 stars, and so yeah, I would recommend it for sure. But this, yeah, no. I mean, I found myself slogging through it. I had the audiobook, but the library stay on my beak. They took their audiobook and poof, gone. 5th book comes out the end of this year, and I'm just gonna cancel the pre-order because, girl, no, I'm not gonna be wasting my money. If all, child, on to the next. The Devil in the Dark Water by Stuart Turton. Y'all, okay, so I've had my eye on this for such a long time. Buddy reading this with my bestie Julie. We're excited to start it. This is the author that wrote The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle, and I really enjoyed Evelyn Hardcastle. Like, it's probably one of the best thriller mysteries that I've read in a long time, and so I feel like I could reread it again. Actually, it was really good. So I've heard great things about this. I believe Lindsay read this as well, and she was in a chokehold, huh? My Cousin Rachel by Daphne du Maurier. Y'all already know, like, last year I absolutely loved Make an End with Kelly. Buddy reading with Kelly and Bethany, and oh my goodness, I'm super excited. I love Daphne du Maurier's writing. Okay, am I in my gothic romantic era? I don't know. Is that a thing? I'm not sure. I could probably try to finish Rebecca this year too. A Plot by Jean Half-Kurtzman. I'm buddy reading this with Laura and super excited. This is actually a book off of my yearly TBR, and we thank the Lord. Stephen King blurred it. Is somebody, you know, this, what was it about? What's this man do? He done does something. He done stole something. That's a professor. He want to be a writer, being that good at it. So one of his students writes a story, but I guess they end up unalived, and then he steals their story, huh? That's it. That's all I need to know. Those are all the books that may or may not be in this vlog, y'all. But I figured I'd tell you where I am at this point of my life, weeks of my life, and months in editing. Chrissy, she can't even. Let's not overwhelm her either. Actually, after April, my reading gets a little shaky. Like, I ain't afraid to see what the end gonna be. Yeah, honey child, let me get to reading. Yeah. Chrissie the Carnivore here. How y'all doing? Listen, after walking along that beach, I needed a meat fest. Mom and Dad needed a meat fest. We're going to hit this. Look at this meat. Oh, listen, won't he do it? We got sausage, pork rib, panning on that brisket, huh? We got chicken barbecue, rib, huh? Yep, brisket, sausage, more brisket. Yeah, and chicken barbecue. My goodness, it's called the meat sweats. And that's what I had, honey. We back at home. Eat candy. Glory! Hallelujah. His and hers is mandatory. We don't share burnt ends. No. Lord, I thank you. I do. Evening tide. Everything's fine. Went into a meat coma, but it's in my Barnes & Noble bag. Or what did I get? Book 3 in the, what is this series called? The Naturals trilogy. So one of my hauls, honey, one of them hauls, I only was able to get book 1, 2, and 4. Why they didn't have 3, I don't know. I got book 3 because what had happened was Barnes & Noble said for premium members, you get 3 times your points. And if you're like me, you will hoard the points because when they do that hardback half off sale, I'm not trying to pay no money. No, I'm not trying to pay not near a dime. Happily ever afters. I've had my own this book for a while. I can't remember where I got it from, who told me about it, what say it was all about. I don't remember. But it's a pretty brown girl in the cover. This about a girl, this writing art school program, and she finds out, honey, she needs to experience real love in order to write about love. So I'm looking forward to reading this too at some point in the future, child. A Woman in the Library. I've had my eye on this book for a super long time. Julie was telling me about this book, so I was like, "Ooh, girl, ooh." I feel like Julie may have read. Girl, did you read this? Did you let me know? Ornate reading room at the Boston Public Library is quiet until somebody is murdered. Locked room. Who did it? Synopsis, and we know this. You just hear The Pietro Resistant, Piercing the Darkness by Frank E. Peretti. If you know, I love This Present Darkness, one of my favorite books of all time. This is the sequel to This Present Darkness. And so the light shines in the darkness and the darkness has not overcome. In John 1:5. That's all we need to know. Okay. The books that I picked up, I got them in my bag, and then I got a bag. I had a box. So let's see what I pre-ordered because I don't remember. Oh, The Chaos Grid by Lindsay Luluen. So evidently this is a sci-fi cyberpunk Christian book. When mankind's attempt to control nature backfires, Texas descends into a wasteland. Storms rage and ravenous beasts roam the outer grid. The only safe haven rests inside the tech-obsessed domed cities. But when her parents are murdered inside the Plex City Dome, 17-year-old Juniper Conway wants revenge. Honey, is she gonna find the Lord though? We're gonna find out. I saw the cover of this and I was like, the blue hair, and I said, oh my goodness, girl who don't know her destiny. We about to be finding out. Vlog is unhinged. Look at me being a book girly presenting the stack. What's up next for you, girl? Reading sprints. And so the whole month of April, and I'm pretty sure you guys are probably going to be seeing this sometime in May. So it's going to be like an April mashup days, weeks of what I was doing in April while I was doing live content. But I am getting ready to do some reading sprints. The first reading sprints I've done on my channel. And so I'm super excited. What will I be reading? Chokehold, My Cousin Rachel, current Chokehold City, and None of This Is True by Lisa Joel. I'll come back with my updates because I'm probably going to be switching between these two during the sprints. Enjoy some B-roll from the sprints, child. Okay, all right. I had to read that part again. She out here, she is hoodwinking, and how I feel. Oh, plot twist, chapter 16. What? Rachel. I gotta update the buddy chat. Now everybody say Friday. Everybody say Friday. Everybody say Friday. Friday. Amen. Everybody say Friday. Everybody say Friday. Everybody say Friday. Boba today. Hey, it's your resident book auntie. So, in this montage, I'm reading The Devil in the Dark Water. I realized upon editing, that I did not give like a recap of my thoughts because there's reactions that's going to be happening. And where are we at with this? At this stage in the game of reading this book, I am probably about 90% of the way completed, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. It's such a wonderful time. Surprises, twists. My predictions were predicting, but I love predicting things in a book. That's just me. I just like trying to solve the mystery and being wrong and having my expectations subverted. But I thoroughly enjoyed this book. So continuing Auntie's bookish montage. Y'all know where I've been in these reading streets. Let's just throw a wrap up. Emotional, one moment. Stranger Dreamer. DNF. I will link the live stream in the description below so you can check out additional thoughts. I gave thorough thoughts in the labs. So Stranger Dreamer by Laini Taylor. I've heard so many great things about this book. My sissy found a book for us to buddy read, and fortunately I had this on my shelf, and so we both DNF'd the child. We were on one accord with these DNFs. I loved about this book is the writing. The writing is incredibly beautiful, succinct, just immersive, just engaging. And I love Stranger Dreamer as a character. I love that he's a librarian, and in this world he's a monk, and he's trying to uncover this mysterious world that no one knows about, and all the literature and historical facts have been destroyed, and so he's putting them all together in his book. But these warriors come who are seeking out this same land, enter the adventure. So I love that. I kind of wish it would have stayed with that aspect of the story. Part 2 deals with some like paranormal romance things, and I was like, I'm just not here for that. Not my bag. So I just got off. I got off at the first stop I could, which was about 90 pages in. This sounds like your bag. Check it out. But do keep in mind there is some paranormal spiritual content in it, as well as some innuendo content and language. I'm not really sure how far that goes because I did not go that far. But yeah, so it's gone, child. Harvest of Rubies by Tessa Afshar. I completed a series, so this is the second book in the Harvest of Rubies duology. This is Harvest of Gold, and it continues the story of Sarah and Darius and their marriage and all the things that they are dealing with as they dive deeper into knowing one another. Also, Nehemiah, as Nehemiah is rebuilding the wall of Jerusalem, and it's just beautiful. I'm going to give this 4 stars because after I read Harvest of Rubies, which was my first Tessa Afshar, I went to Hidden Prince. I read Hidden Prince and I was blown away. So coming back to one of her first works, I can definitely see her writing improved, and her writing is phenomenal anyway. So I'm going to give this 4 stars, but I had a wonderful time. The Selection. I know y'all like, where you read this? I read it in 2014 and I remember why I loved it so much. I'm going to give this 4 stars because it's just a great YA time. I love the romance. I love how refreshing it is for a competition. Like before The Bachelor was like The Bachelor, like this was kind of like the book version of that. And the little triangle that's happening, the love triangle as well. Just a good YA trash time. The Devil and the Dark Water. Listen, you guys, I had such a wonderful time reading this book. Okay, I read this with my bestie Julie. Once you get to like the 200 page mark in this book, it just takes off. A lot of it is set up. Stuart Turton wrote The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle, and I loved that book. It was such a wonderful time, and so reading this was fantastic. Again, I talk about this extensively in my live. So a seafaring mystery and with spiritual superstition and adventure, where merchants and tradesmen were the power players, like equivalent to our corporate society, right? It was the merchants and the traders that really ran society. Following governor, who is also a trader and a merchant, and his wife, and they're on their way to deliver some goods. And he also has someone, kind of Sherlock Holmes character, who is also been imprisoned and is on his way to execution. But things start happening on this boat, child. Content to keep in mind, it does kind of dabble a little bit into some superstition around the devil, or who they call Old Tom in this book, and how they figuring out the superstitious things around that. So it can be a little unsettling at times. I wasn't particularly unsettled, but I can definitely see where it could be a little unsettling as well. Read 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. You know that there's more meets the eye, and I thoroughly enjoyed this. I think I haven't really landed on my rating yet, but it's probably going to be a 4.5 star for me. It wasn't just quite at a 5-star read for me. I think I liked Evelyn Hardcastle a little bit more because it did have a little bit of a science fiction aspect to it, and that's probably why I like that a little bit more. I had so much fun reading it with Julie. I was like, girl, what is going on? Another banger. None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. Y'all know I love Lisa Jewell. She's one of my favorite thriller authors. I need to read some more of her books. I think I might sprinkle some more of her books in throughout the year as well. But man, I just love how she writes her thrillers. They're always so engaging. Commentary layered within the story that she's really trying to convey to the reader if you pay attention. And I really love when she does that. Birthday twins. One is a podcaster. One is a stay-at-home mom who is in a not so good relationship. And this podcaster, Alex, is, talks about, is kind of a reformed feminist. And so she has women that comes on her show to discuss all the things they have been through. Twin decides, hey, I got a story to tell too. And so embarked the crazy and the journey. And let me tell you, it was wild. Or 5-star. The more I think about it, I'm kind of leaning into a 5-star if I'm being honest, because I'm still thinking about this book. Teresa and I are still chatting about this book. We've read this book like probably a week ago and we're still talking about it. And so for me, if I'm still pondering about a book, if it's still sitting with me, if I'm still like, man, that was awesome, take it over to a next star if I'm like in between stars. Content is wild. There is some sexual content and sexual implied things, but everything happens off page. There are references to grooming and to sexualization and things like that. So do keep that in mind. But if you like you know, morally great characters, and you're in for a really good psychological time. The audiobook was phenomenal because it was told in a podcast type form, full cast of narrators, and it was phenomenal. We finished this book probably the first week in April, maybe the second week, and I'm at the end of the month and we're still talking about this book. I read this with Kelly and Bethany. Take a sip. Hold on. I love this book, you guys. It was so good. I read my first Daphne du Maurier last year, to make it in last year, and it was one of my favorite books from 2023. But this takes the cake. I have not read Rebecca yet, and I've heard ain't nothing topping Rebecca. That's what I heard. And so I gotta read Rebecca this year. Like, my gothic romance girly now. Since she had this man's nose wide open. I mean, interstate. I mean, seriously. Poor Philip, there's so much to unpack from this. The character work is so ingenious, and how she paints plausibility for every single character in this book, especially on Rachel and Philip. The recent passing of his beloved cousin Ambrose, while he was away, married a woman named Rachel, returns to the estate, and ensues all of this psychological trauma. I think this is my favorite book of April. My Cousin Rachel. So what am I currently reading? Book 2. Why wouldn't I? Of course I'm reading Fellowship of the Ring. I read a couple chapters this month, ready to embark on their adventure, and I'm super excited. So hopefully I can finish this by the end of June. Hopefully we'll finish the Fellowship of the Ring. And so it's been great buddy reading with my friends and talking about it as we go. Empire of Gold by S.H. Kaborti, the Dabi trilogy. This is the third book. Follows a young woman who is a thief and a con artist, whisked away to this mystical world and all of the adventures that go along with that. There are a ton of characters, so I did have to get familiar because I got the back where all the glossary and the names are is tagged because your girl forgot. Hopefully I can finish this sometime in May. Again, by Ted Dekker. Buddy reading this with Teresa. Read all of like Ted Dekker's like fantasy sci-fi books, but I have not ventured into his thrillers, and this is my first Ted Dekker thriller, and I am invested. Follows a storm, and there's this serial killer that's on the prowl looking for this cop in this small town, female character who's kind of caught in the middle of this whole fiasco. It is wild. May is the start of the SouthernCharm Readathon, hosted by my girl Amanda. So I will definitely link her announcement video in the description below, so you can go check out her video. I'm super excited to be participating this year. In that May is also her birthday month. I had to read one of her favorite books, Becky Wade. Becky Wading. Stay With Me by Becky Wade. And so I'm super excited to read this. This is a Christian romance woman who's dealing with a drug addiction and the love and the restoration that she finds as well on that journey. And so I'm really looking forward to this. This will be my first time reading Becky Wade, and I've heard fantastic things about it. Make sure you check out the readathon, and I hope you'll be participating too. Next up, I plan on reading The King's Scrolls by J.L. Knight. This is book 2 in the Ilion Chronicles, and I'm ready reading this with Teresa and Amanda. We're super excited. We're all in the same place with this series. Highly recommended. I love The Resistance when I read it. I'm super excited to start this slightly grimy, dark Christian fantasy. Everybody. Everybody. We're starting Hob. Hob season is upon us. Oh, Father God, I thank you. I don't know how to feel right now, okay? And you could probably hear the emotion already trying to seep out. Finish Empire Go, I will be immediately starting Hob. It's definitely on deck, and I plan to vlog it and the full, and this series ends the Realm of the Otherlings, and I can't believe I've made it this far. It's been a little over 2 years reading through this entire series, going through reading slumps. My sponsor been out here in these streets. Penny, I appreciate you. I love you. I'm being a DM real hard. Buckle up. Just here for it. I'm here for it. See, I read the first, I said, see, you know what? Once I start embarking on this journey, there's no looking back. Happy Star Wars Day, everybody! It's Star Wars Day! talking. This is an awesome day. Happy Star Wars Day. May the Force be with you. Yay! Good child, we made it to the end of the vlog. This was so much fun. I hope you enjoyed. Inspired to really kind of chronicle my month, compiling everything that I did in the month of April. Doing all the lives the month of April was just so amazing. I really didn't know how it was gonna go because I've done lives sporadically on the channel, but doing them every week was very liberating for me. So great to engage in the community and to have like those weekly touch-in conversations like with your book best friend, the fellowship and the laughter and the encouragement. It was everything that I needed, especially the reading sprints on last Saturday. Special shout out to Amanda, Lindsay, Sky, and T. Thank y'all so much. Excited. I'm so happy to be a part of this community, and I thank the Lord for each of you. Don't worry, more lives and definitely more reading sprints are on deck this year. Before I go, a book blessing that a subscriber sent to me, Brandi. Thank you so much for thinking of me and sending me 2 books. Listen, it's hard out here in these high inflation streets, okay? So for you to also watch the channel, be a subscriber, and just be so engaged in the community in whatever way that you find that's supporting. Thank you. The knowledge of the holy, oh my goodness, I've heard so many amazing things about it. And y'all know Pastor Tozer, he's my guy. And I'm super excited to read this. And then the Pied de Resistance, Pearl in the Sand, the 10th anniversary edition, y'all, last year, and I loved it. Amazing Faith, highly recommend. One of Tessa Afshar's best books. I mean, it's definitely up there. I actually own a copy of this book. It's just absolutely amazing. And thank you so much, Brandi. Thank you so much. Thank y'all so much for all of your support. Thank you for watching, liking, viewing, sharing, all of the things. It has just been an awesome reading month, even though I had some DNFs, huh? It's all right, because if it fall, it fall. But as you go forward in the days ahead, may the Lord bless you. May he keep you. May he strengthen, settle, and establish you and give you grace for the days ahead. Because you know Jesus is coming back. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.